Ibrahim, as, leaves Hajar and baby Ismail. Allah commanded Prophet Ibrahim, as, to take Hajar, Ra, and their infant son Ismail, as, to a barren valley, the place that would become Makkah. At that time, there was no settlement and no water there. Ibrahim, as, left them with only a small amount of food and water. Imagine Hajar's situation, alone, with a baby, in an empty desert. She followed Ibrahim, as, and asked him why he was leaving them there. Eventually, she asked him, "Has Allah commanded you to do this?" When he indicated that Allah had commanded it, Hajar replied with complete trust in Allah. That is an incredible moment. She didn't understand the plan, but she trusted the one who made the plan. Their water runs out. After Ibrahim, as, left, Hajar and Ismail began to suffer from thirst. The little water they had was eventually gone. Ismail, as, still a baby, became extremely thirsty and distressed. Hajar couldn't simply sit there. She had to do something. Hajar searches for help. She climbed Safa and looked across the valley, hoping to see someone who could help. Nobody. So she went down and crossed the valley toward Marwa. Again, she searched. Nobody. She went back. Safa right pointing arrow Marwa right pointing arrow Safa right pointing arrow Marwa. She did this 7 times. And this is something extraordinary. Today, when Muslims perform Hajj or Umrah, they perform Sa'i, walking between Safa and Marwa in remembrance of Hajar's desperate search. The Quran specifically calls Safa and Marwa among the symbols of Allah. So every year, millions of Muslims physically repeat the journey of a mother who refused to give up. Then came the miracle. After completing her search, Hajar returned toward her baby. Then she heard a voice. It was Jibril, as. According to the authentic narration, Jibril struck, delved into the ground, and water began to gush out. Hajar immediately began gathering the water with her hands, forming a little basin around it so it wouldn't spread away. And that's where the name Zamzam became associated with this blessed spring. The Prophet said that if Hajar had left it alone, Zamzam would have become a flowing stream across the surface of the earth. The story doesn't end with the water. Then something even more amazing happened. People from the tribe of Jurhum eventually noticed birds circling around the area. They realized, birds don't normally gather around a place where there is no water. They investigated and discovered Zamzam. People began settling there, and that barren valley gradually became Makkah. Later, Ibrahim, as, and Ismail, as, would build the Kaaba there. And this is why the story is so powerful. Look at the sequence. Hajar had no water right pointing arrow she searched. She had no visible solution right pointing arrow she kept moving. She couldn't see what Allah was going to do right pointing arrow she trusted him anyway. And then, Allah brought water out of the ground. That's why Zamzam represents much more than water. It represents tawakkul, trusting Allah; sabr, patience; dua, calling upon Allah; effort, doing everything you can while trusting Allah with the result. And perhaps the most beautiful lesson is this: Hajar didn't sit down and wait for a miracle. She ran between Safa and Marwa looking for a solution, and Allah provided the miracle. And every time you see Zamzam, you can remember a mother who kept going when she had every reason to lose hope. Sometimes Allah's help is already coming. You just haven't reached the moment when it appears yet. Ibn Abbas, Ra, said that he gave the Prophet Zamzam and the Prophet drank it while standing. So drinking Zamzam is also connected to the Sunnah. A Muslim might drink it while making dua such as, "O Allah, grant me good health, forgiveness, beneficial knowledge, and accept my dua." The important point is that Allah is the one who grants the benefit. Zamzam itself isn't worshipped. Zamzam isn't merely special water. For Muslims, it is a reminder of tawakkul right pointing arrow patience right pointing arrow dua right pointing arrow Allah's help.